Good morning. Welcome back to the regular meeting of the Mason County Board of Commissioners, January 3rd, our first regular meeting in 2017 with our brand new commissioner representing District 2, Kevin Schutte. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Absolutely delighted to have you here and look forward to rolling up the sleeves and getting a lot done this year.
Yeah, that's right. 2017 is going to be a great year. Ready to get to work.
Make him speak, Commissioner.
When we have new directors, we generally make them.
Yeah.
But is there something you'd like to share while you're...
Well, I would just say it's an honor to be up here and to be able to do the people's work here in Mason County is a great privilege and an honor. And so I just look forward to working with both Commissioner Netherland and Jeffries and to make Mason County strong. Like I like to say, a leader in our region, and just get to that work. So, new year, and let's get after it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what great things we're going to do. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit tickled about it here. I can't wait to see it.
I think we're all pretty excited to have you on board.
Thank you. Great to be
Welcome
here.
aboard. First order of business, I'd like to ask if you would be willing to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sure, absolutely. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Can we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
Here?
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
And Commissioner District 3, Terry Jeffries.
Here. Correspondence and organizational business. Can you please report the correspondence received by the County Commission?
Alan Borton and Kevin Schmelzlin sent applications for the Mason County Planning Advisory Commission. Mason County Historic Preservation Commission sent a letter to consider revenue sharing with the Mason County Historical Society. The Liquor and Cannabis Board sent a liquor license application for Third Generation Limerick Market at East 2100 Mason Lake Road, Shelton, Washington. The State of Washington Department of Ecology sent a letter thanking Commissioner Jeffries and Public Works staff for escorting them on the Waste Discharge Inspection Report. Officer of the Treasurer sent RCW 3648010 depositories to be designated by the Treasurer. And an email from Ken Van Buskirk requesting that item 8.1 on today's agenda be removed for separate vote.
So, Commissioners, This is unusual action. I have not, since my time on the board, received a request via email that an item be removed for a separate vote on our action agenda, so I will pose that question, or the chair should pose that question perhaps at the time when we get to that agenda item. Don't you want to have discussion about that now?
Well, I don't mind having them now. We want to be careful on any precedents, he said. Usually if somebody has it pulled off the agenda for a separate vote, it's so they can have a discussion to explain to us their view on it. If nobody's here, though, to do it, I'm trying to figure out where the benefit is, except for just an exercise.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think if we can avoid setting the precedent that an email is sufficient for removing an item from the agenda, it's not a path that I want to go down today. I think Mr. Van Buskirk's email here can be part of the record and certainly part of our discussion when it's appropriate, but I don't think it's a good precedent to set.
Okay, I would concur with you two gentlemen, and so I think the question is solved that we will not take that request as one that's valid when we get to that point in the agenda. Is there any... The next item is 4.2, and this is the selection of our 2017 chair and vice chair for the Board of County Commissioners. Are there any nominations for the 2017 chair?
Madam Chair, I nominate Kevin as our for chair. It would be the first time since 2008 we had a chair from that district, and I think that would be a wonderful addition.
Are there any other nominations? I would second that nomination, and I think with two of us on board, and if you're willing to take that position, I don't think we need to call for a vote. As I look through the departmental
I guess we should ask if he's willing.
I accept.
Thank you. Welcome aboard, and I would hand the gavel over to you. Would you But I understand you're a little bit ill, and, and
So for today, maybe a little bit of a different arrangement than normal. Commissioner Jeffries is going to continue to chair the meeting. I'm getting over sickness here over the past couple of days, and so in order to save my voice, I'm going to hand the gavel back. Or Commissioner Jeffries will retain the gavel, I guess, I don't know. But she will conduct the business of the meeting today, and then we'll transition from there.
That's not
Do you
uncommon,
concur?
that's good, yep.
okay.
Then may I make another motion that might
Please.
help us along with this situation? Madam Chair, I move that you be the vice chair.
Oh,
I will second that.
well, thank you. I would accept that nomination. So our 2017 executive committee, so to speak, would consist of Commissioner Schutte being our chair, and I will serve as vice chair. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Again, it'll be a good year. The next item is 4.3, and that's a news release of the Mason County Solid Waste Advisory Committee member openings. Do we have anybody from Public Works that would read that? If it's not, so I'd be happy to read the opening, or the press release. This is a press release to be released on January 3rd from the Mason County Board of Commissioners. Mason County is seeking applicants to fill 4 positions, 4 of them, folks, on the Mason County Solid Waste Advisory Committee, the SWAC. The Solid Waste Advisory Committee reviews and makes recommendations to the commissioners regarding solid waste and special waste management in Mason County, including disposal rates, disposal options, waste reduction, recycling, household hazardous waste, and composting programs. Mason County is seeking interested citizens from Commissioner Districts 1, 2, and 3, and a local elected public official. We have one here. Committee members are also appointed for a 3-year term. Participation is voluntary, and members meet twice a month. Application forms may be obtained from the Mason County Commissioner's Office, 411 North 5th Street, Shelton, or by calling the Shelton office at 427-9670 or using the Belfair number 275-4467. And then there's a number for folks living in Elma, 482-5269, all of them extension 419, or you can visit our website. And the applications will be accepted until the positions are filled. Is there any other organizational business to come before the commission? Melissa? Okay, thank you. Then we will move on to item number 5, and this is our open forum for citizen input, an opportunity to address the commission on any items that are not on the agenda. If you'd like to address the commission, please raise your hand and you'll be recognized. Ms. Vogler, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Marilyn Vogler, 420 East Poplar in Shelton. I just want to say welcome to the new commission. I look forward to working with you in the next couple of years as a member of at least one county advisory board. I appreciated, Commissioner Schutte, your comment about governing for the people. I hope you will keep in mind that you govern for all of the people, those who voted for you and those who didn't, those who own homes and those who don't, and those who have no shelter, those who have their own vehicles and need the roads, and those who need public transportation. Mason County has a huge span of incomes and a lot of diversity and people with a variety of needs, and I expect from your past experience you to look out for all of us. So thank you for being here. It's a great public service that you're willing to commit to. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Doggone it, that was a good summary.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else who'd like to address the commission? Former Commissioner Steve Bloomfield. I love saying that.
I know.
Not the
Steve
former part.
Bloomfield,
though.
Southeast 391 Dahman Road, Shelton. I want to echo her comments. Hey, it's a new year, it's a new beginning, a new commission. Let's be optimistic and get things done as our new commissioner said when he took his oath. This is a time of change and a time for good, and we've got an opportunity to really seize it. Let's run with the ball, okay? And we'll find out about item 8, number 1, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to address the commission? Commissioner Kathy McDowell from the city of Shelton.
Good morning, Commissioner Kathy McDowell, Shelton. I wasn't going to say anything, but I got on a roll here, so I want to join in with everybody else. Welcome, congratulations, and my saying is we all, city and county, all live under one big roof. We're all one big family, so we want to really work hard to work together and make things happen. Anyway, welcome. We're excited.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And in that spirit and that light, we do have a joint meeting of the city, county, and Port of Shelton commissioners scheduled for January 11th, and I look forward to that discussion and continuing to meet on a more regular basis. Is there anybody else who would like to address the commission? Thank you. Then we will move on to item number 6, and that is the adoption of the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move for the adoption of the agenda as presented.
I second that motion.
Moved and second to adopt the agenda as presented. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. The approval of the minutes.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the November 28th and December 5th briefing minutes, December 6th regular meeting minutes.
I will second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the November 28th and the December 5th briefing minutes and the December 6th regular meeting minutes as presented. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Next item is item number 8, and this is the approval of our action agenda. The intention is the commission will approve all 2 items on today's action agenda with one vote. After we read through them, there'll be an opportunity for people in the public to ask any questions on any of the items. There's also the opportunity to ask that any of the items be removed for a separate vote, if you're here to do that. So I'm going to ask Commissioner Netherland to go ahead and read both items 8.1 and 8.2.
I'd be happy to, Madam Chair. Item number 8.1, approval to purchase UV bulbs and system repair needed for the Belfair Water Reclamation Facility in the amount of $12,890.89. Item number 8.2, approval of the warrants. Claims Clearing Fund warrants number 8044971 through 8045345 for the amount of $2,610,002.91. Direct Deposit Fund warrants number 37124 through 37510 for the amount of $694,294.86. Salary Clearing Fund warrants number 7002430 through 7002459 for the amount of $497,043.21 for a total of $3,801,340.98.
Thank you. Are there anybody in the audience that has any questions on any of the 2 items just read? Commissioners? Is there anybody in the audience that would like any of the items removed for a separate vote? Mr. Bloomfield.
Item 8.1.
Okay. Let's see. Is there any other items that anybody like removed for a separate vote? I remember to pull this around.
What the claims clearing fund is.
Absolutely. These would be any of the bills that are accumulated or paid out that are not personnel-oriented. So our electricity bills, our gas bills, and those sorts of things. The other 2, the salary clearing fund and the direct deposit funds, are both salaries or personnel costs. And then I did want to maybe bring up for discussion at some point, or right now. All right, let's go ahead and take a motion, and then I'd like to open for discussion.
Yes, Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the action agenda items, all item number 8.2.
I will second that motion.
It's moved and second to approve item 8.2 on the action agenda discussion. We had been asked probably 2 years ago by a former commissioner here that we read off to the citizens the amount that had been spent year to date in each of those 3 categories, and I think we'll have a 4th category coming up here soon that we normally hadn't had. And that was for the information to the public. It became a little bit cumbersome as the numbers get larger, and I wondered if this commission had any desire to continue that, or maybe continue to change it and just read that week's approvals.
I prefer to go ahead and go back to the reading of the weeks. The reason being is there is no benefit to the approval process of any of the total number and amounts. I have no problem with having it included, but it makes no sense to keep including them into our motions. Again, since there's no changing that, it was just a desire that a commissioner had, and we tried to empower each other to do and put forward the things we think are best.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would concur. I think I don't see the need to make it more cumbersome than it might already be, especially given that this is available online ahead of time.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you for that. So I will go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor of the motion, please vote. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye?
Aye. Motion carried. Item 8.1, approval to purchase UV bulbs and system repairs needed for the Belfair Water Reclamation Facility in the amount of $12,890.89. Bart Stepp, our Utilities Director, is here to bring up this item.
Bart Stepp, Deputy Director, Commissioners. This proposal, at all of our wastewater plants, we have UV disinfection systems. And they're lots of different bulbs, and it's a system it's supposed to disinfect the water, kill the bacteria and viruses. Typically, you are required to change the bulbs every 1 to 2 years, depending on how many go out over the course of their lifetime. We had a technician come on the site in September for the Belfair one and take a look at that system, and most of those bulbs were in need of replacement, and the others were in good shape, as well as there's some fittings and some ballasts and that sort of thing that needed to be replaced as well. We got quotes from 2 vendors. Trojan UV is actually the manufacturer of the system, and then UV Doctor is another vendor. UV Doctor is the same company that we've gone with to replace the bulbs at North Bay and at Russellwood earlier this year, or I guess last year, 2016. Yeah, there's quite a bit of difference in price. Trojan I think, because they're the manufacturer, they feel they can charge quite a bit more than the other vendors. And every time we do this, that's the case. UV Trojan is a lot more than the other vendor.
I see.
So.
Are there any questions for
I don't.
Mr. Stepp? Commissioner, do you have any questions? Are there any questions from the audience, Mr. Stepp?
Do you have any data on whether the bulbs you're getting from the second provider last as long as the ones from the manufacturer would?
I have only been here a few months, and I don't know so that plant was put on in 2012. I'm not sure if the bulbs have been replaced since then, so I don't really have any data as to compare a life cycle on the two. We actually used, before I worked here at my previous location, we have a different type of UV system, but we use UV Doctor as well. So in terms of lasting there, they seem to be comparable with the manufacturers. It's a different system, but.
Mr. Conley, or Mr. Watson?
I do have a question. Are they 3/8 or 1/2 inch, or are they pentabolts? Where you can't, I know the PUD 3 and PUD 1 use pentabolts on their transformers because it won't take a normal socket, and you can't do it with a crescent wrench. It takes a special wrench to use a pentabolt.
Actually, to change these UV bulbs, it doesn't require wrenches. It's actually kind of a screw-on fitting.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's not bolts involved.
Mr. Bloomfield?
Yeah, these are bulbs are a standard maintenance item.
Yes.
Off the shelf thing. Do you do intensity checks on a regular basis? Because UV tends to go down in value. Still see the light. The light's still there, just a
Right.
different intensity. So
The Belfair system does have, the system in itself has intensity monitoring, so it actually reports to the computer what the intensity is as it goes down, yeah. So.
Any other questions? I wanted to point out something that was quite alarming when we read this, and You are new. How long have you been with the county?
I started in September 1st.
September, okay. Page 3 of the field service report has item number 8, non-conformances. This is written by Trojan UV, that there has been little to no maintenance done on the system for quite some time. More than half of the lamps of the system are not working, and there are multiple dark spots in the water path due to this issue. Mr. Stepp, I think there's some concern among this commission, and I guess I'm looking for some reassurance that a maintenance schedule is being developed to make sure that we're not falling behind and
Yes,
having added costs.
they are, and I guess part of it, regardless of how well you maintain them, the bulbs are going to go out. So I guess there's kind of a couple things. One is we just haven't replaced them in time. The other is in terms of maintenance. One of the things they do is they go out and they kind of have a brush and they kind of scrub them clean because stuff kind of gets caked on the quart sleeves over time. As well as this, actually, Belfair has a wiper system that helps that as well. So, when we get these bulbs and replace everything, yes, we're definitely doing more maintenance. But part of it also is they just haven't, bulbs only have so long of a lifespan, and we've reached the end of the lifespan for most of them.
So is the representative from Trojan UV addressing the bulb maintenance that hasn't happened, or was there anything?
I think it's
further?
just I think it's kind of a both. Is one, we haven't replaced them in time, so that's obviously a maintenance item. You're supposed to replace things in time. The other is in terms of cleaning and that sort of thing. The wipers weren't working.
Okay.
When he first came out there. The operator that was at Belfair, he's been there less than a year, and I understand is the previous one that was kind of the main operator that kind of left before really telling the new operator, what needed to be done. And so, we've had Trojan come out there, we've had the membrane manufacturer, we've had other kind of technicians come out over the last 4 months trying to help train our guys to say, hey, this is what needs to be done, this is how it needs to operate, because that knowledge of transfer just didn't really happen very well.
Okay.
So,
Well, I think I speak, hopefully, I think I might speak for the commission that we are very eager to make sure that we're back on we're onto a good maintenance schedule.
yes, yeah, we're getting there.
Are there any other questions for Mr. Stepp? Thank you.
Okay.
Is there anybody who'd like to testify on this item before us? Mr. Bloomfield, please.
Don't mean to dominate or cause a problem.
Oh, sure. Commissioner one time and then commissioner forever.
No, you always end up with questions.
You're awesome.
I can't, Steve Bloomfield again, I'm already on record for my address. I can't speculate on what Mr. Van Busker's question was. I think you handled that properly. I don't think you can ask a question of the commission not being present. So thank you for that consideration. But as we all know, the system in Belfair is a very expensive system. It's very expensive to operate. And when you talk about UV bulbs, you think light bulbs, and $13,000 worth of light bulbs is quite a lot of light bulbs, you would think. But in the case of UV bulbs, it's not. And they are important to the system. Why we have this tens of millions of dollars wrapped up in this system and not have the final output being the best it can be is wrong. We can't go down that road. And there's been a tremendous change in personnel and staff over the last year or two. It takes a while to get things hammered back in place, and I trust our new staff will be doing a great job. And I have nothing but confidence in it being done right, but we have to, if we're going to spend that much money, we have to have the best that our money has bought. So let's keep going on this stuff.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to testify? Hearing none, I'll close public testimony and would entertain a motion.
Bennett, go ahead.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve item 8.1 and the purchase of the UV bulbs and system repairs needed for the Belfair Water Reclamation Facility in the amount of $12,890.89.
I will second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve item 8.1, the purchase of UV bulbs and system repairs needed for the Belfair Water Reclamation Facility Trojan UV 3000 plus system from the UV Doctor in the amount of $12,890.89. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Thank you. Other business, this is our opportunity for department heads and elected officials to address the public and the commission on any items of interest or things that are merging in their fields. We have two department heads here. Is there?
Well,
Would you
one
like to
head was
address-
shaking the whole time you talked. I knew he wasn't. Go ahead. Yeah.
There are no elected officials, so that takes us on to, there are no public hearings today. So now we're on to item 11. This is board reports and calendars, an opportunity for us to share with you some of the things that we have been, meetings we have gone to where we represent the county, as well as times that we have been together or will be together for purposes of Open Public Meeting Act's reporting and disclosure. Commissioner Netherland, would you like to start?
Yeah, I'll go for a short form. This last week, of course, we had our Christmas and New Year's and the like. I did attend Kevin's swearing in. It was wonderful. Much better food than I had at mine. Much better food. And what was, because this is advertised, what was the name of the company?
Hood Canal Events, they're out of Union.
It was wonderful. Highly recommend them. Wonderful people, too. If you've known them for a while, they do a lot of
Fantastic,
great things.
fantastic, I think, ambassadors for our county. Just a great small business that has a lot of enthusiasm for Mason County, and was happy to have them help me out with that. Glad you liked it.
I also attended a meeting with the past political chair of Kitsap County and some other folks in regards to a potential racetrack just on the line that may cover some of Mason County, some of Kitsap. Where it'll go, I don't know, but it was pretty interesting to the people that were involved. It was also my own oath of office, and I met with many different business owners. We're having an issue up in North Mason with the road widening because people don't realize the parking that has existed for many years was existing on pieces of land that was not owned by the property owners that were taking advantage of it. That actual right-of-way is much wider than people realized. It goes up and even touches one of the buildings. So all that parking that was in the front, well, currently they had to make some changes and put the curbs up. Well, to do that, they had to put up orange plastic fencing to stop people from going there, and automatically that started devastating some of the businesses. So one of the things we went through is did a little fight and got some signs out of them that says open for business. I went and picked up one myself for a specific business just to make sure we didn't lose them. And we've also had some issues with trying to make sure that these ingress and egresses are wide enough for them to be able to still serve people, because now they're losing their room in the front. It takes a lot more room to pull in and out. So with all that, we've had some definite issues that we're trying to deal with, and all during the holiday, which makes it extremely hard. Let's see, Chamber of Commerce, North Mason Chamber of Commerce, I'm their speaker for their breakfast meeting. Have a regulatory subcommittee meeting for the EDC. West Sound Alliance is having a meeting, and I'd kind of like to set it up with you if you have it available for you to consider coming so I can introduce you and
Sure.
you can get to know some of those people. And let's see. EDC has a new board member orientation. I'll be attending. Port of Grapeview is having a special meeting, and I'll be attending that. Mason Transit Authority has their policy review committee. I will be attending that. We have the audit committee for the county. The Allen Community Association, Women Republican are having their luncheon. The Hood Canal Bridge Ecosystem Impact Assessment Management Committee meeting. Again, that's one that we may want to attend together so we can do the transition. And I'll get you that information on that. Let's see. Ginger Brooks is having a going away party, and I definitely plan on attending that. What a wonderful person she is. We have our briefings, and then was it on the same day? Do we have the state auditor's exit committee? Exit? I'm not sure. I have that down on my paper, but if it is, we'll be all attending that. That brings us back to our regular meetings and briefings, and ready to go.
Is there any obviously, you would be looking forward. Would you like to announce your calendar for moving
Sure.
forward?
So this today started with the legislative send-off with the Chamber and EDC. Tomorrow morning I'll be meeting with Eric Mall at Mason General Hospital. And then the rest of this week is going to be spent meeting with different department heads and electeds to meet with them and their staff. So tomorrow afternoon I'll be in the Community Services Department with Dave Wyndham. Thursday with our new court clerk, Sharon Fogo. Friday will be with Coroner Stockwell and District Court Judge Victoria Meadows, as well as the Republican Women's Luncheon. Plan to be there for that. And that brings us, for me at least, back to next week's briefings and commission meetings. So as this goes on, today is probably going to be a lot of HR kind of stuff and figuring out where the bathroom is and found the parking spots. That was good. But yeah,
They took our numbers off. What?
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I
well,
do want to
two's always in the middle. So
share a story with you. I can remember when I knew I had already been here too long. Is when here at Mason County, the bathrooms are automatic. And I found myself walking into a bathroom after about a month and a half going like this. And nothing's
lights,
coming
yeah.
on, realizing not every place is electronic.
That's funny. So I also did, last week I did take most of the week off, but I did attend your swearing in, and I appreciated that opportunity. I also was at the legislative send-off this morning with the EDC, hosted by the EDC and the Shelton Chamber of Commerce. I will have a meeting this afternoon with Scott Hanauer, who is the director of the Community Youth Services, who now have offices here in Mason County and expanded services. So I just wanted to learn more of I believe it's mental health support services for the folks that are in the transition age. They're not youth, but they're not, about the 20 to 25 age range. But I've been told that they're also going further down. So I just want to get a better idea what they're doing. I'm meeting with our family court facilitator. I have a meeting with Scott Brewer of the Hood Canal Coordinating Council. I do get monthly briefings from him because I used to be on, we'll have to talk about that. I used to be on the MACECOM group, board, and that there was a corresponding or a conflict, a meeting conflict. Pacific Mountain Workforce Development Council Finance meeting, and then Ginger Brooks' going away party, and then a meeting of the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization with the State Department of Health to talk about the pros and cons of what's called an early adopter. For the ultimate goal is by 2020, primary health care services and behavioral health care services will all be coordinated under a managed care organization. And there's one county or one region, and that's in the Clark County area, that has become an early adopter of this merging. And our region will have a discussion about being what's called the mid-adopters. After I've been briefed, I will come back and talk to you folks about what that means, what it doesn't mean, pros and cons, so that we can have a joint Mason County voice on whether or not we want to go to that level, or even what it means, frankly. We'll have our commission briefings on Monday the 9th. We do have our State Auditor's Office exit conference on the 2015. 2016 or 2015 that we were
It'd be
audited.
2015, I believe.
2015
Can't
audit.
be 2016, we're not done yet.
We're not done yet,
13
correct.
months.
Correct. Then we're back here for the commission meeting on the 10th.
Just want to verify, Commissioner, do you plan on attending the West End Alliance with me if we can schedule that?
Yeah.
Because we need to get that on the record, for you saying that you plan on being there also. Will you be attending the Women's Republican Luncheon?
Yes.
Okay, as will I. And what was the other one? Oh, the Hood Canal Bridge with the ecosystem management team. I'm not sure what we'll be doing on that, but we'll go ahead and you may be at that with me as well.
Sure.
Okay.
One other thing, I'll also be attending on Thursday the Red Mass in Olympia. It's a tradition for public servants. It's held at the beginning of terms, so it's an annual tradition. And so I'll be down there in Olympia for that at noon on Thursday the 5th.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What is it?
So it's a mass at the local
Oh, a mass.
church.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought
yeah.
you said mass.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it goes
St.
back.
Michael's?
Yeah, St. Michael's, and so it's for people of all faiths, all walks of life that are in public service, and just
What is that date?
it's this Thursday,
The
January
5th.
5th at noon at St. Michael's. So
I may attend also, I don't know.
I may attend also as well.
so it's just it's like I said, it's for people from all walks of faith, and just a way to prepare for the term. We're all it's gonna, a lot of it is going to be our legislators, but also the judicial branch and executive branch, and then city and local as well. So I'll be there for that.
Okay, I may be there for the public's knowledge that there may be a quorum. Commissioner Netherland,
Absolutely, yes.
I wanted to
Without a doubt.
ask you. I wanted to ask you on the issue of ingress and egress and people having parking without a real legal easement. Do you foresee a need to maybe take a look at our parking requirements in the development code for the Belfair UGA as a result of these changes?
If we did, it would have to be to lessen the restrictions, not because.
That's what I mean.
I'm not sure that they're gonna have the footprint that's necessary, because nobody knew this was gonna happen all the years that it's been going on there. Some of them, like if you know the area at all, the Rice Bowl, and all, they're parking now in the back, which always did exist, but nobody ever used it.
Ah.
So there is some parking in the back there. Whether it'll be enough to actually fit because there's so many parking stalls that are required, don't know that yet.
Okay.
But the hardest part is getting those fences down so people realize that they can pull in there, but it's kind of tough on them.
If I recall, we did have parking requirements, number of spaces based on type of business and square footage, et cetera. So I don't want us to put people into an area of nonconformance as a result of.
Let's set that up for a briefing so we can actually ask Dave and them to look into that for us, but not with the idea that we're not trying to set
Make
them up,
things harder,
to
right.
hurt, but to find what we need to change to allow them to continue to do business.
Okay.
I'd
Because I
appreciate
don't
that.
want to preclude new businesses coming
No.
in as well.
Well, right now, you can imagine with all this road widening, all this work, it is so hard to keep a business right now anyway. Every little bit makes a difference. One of them, I'll just say myself, I went and bought the sign myself and had it put up there because I went in there a little bit before Thanksgiving, and there was nobody in this place, and there's always packed. They just think it's closed. So I went and got the sign, and their business started picking back up again. They weren't sure they were going to make it even past another month at that rate. So now they're doing okay, but getting the state to kick in and put all those little signs up may seem stupid, but it makes a huge difference because they look closed. They just look closed with that big orange stuff in the front, and they're supposed to get it down quickly. They already got the curbs up. They've moved the schedule up to help us with that. The state's been very helpful, by the way, to us. When we call, it's not just to complain. We can call and tell them, hey, this is happening, need something done now, and they do make arrangements to get things done quicker in order to help save our businesses, but they're taking quite a beating up there.
All that having been said, if anybody from the South End hasn't been to Belfair lately, go up there. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
New sidewalks truly, truly, truly make a city beautiful, or an area.
When we were on the same stage in Belfair, I said something that actually captured people a lot more than I thought it would, but it meant the world to so many of them. Aside from the first day watching an actual mother and father and baby stroller walking down the street, that caught my attention because you've never seen that in Belfair. You just didn't. They'd be dodging traffic. But the day of the debate, or the day before the debate, I was going by and I drove past an accident. Now, the interesting part is that may not seem like nothing, but in Belfair, you don't drive past accidents. You sit there forever because there's nowhere to move. And so you wait and you wait. Both lanes were driving past accidents. It was wonderful. Believe me, it does make a huge difference. People can be mad about everything that's happening, but this will change the dynamics of that little area up there. And as Commissioner Jeffries said many times, we got to understand a lot of our revenue that we use for our sheriff's department and other things comes from that little town because that is our breadbasket.
Okay, if there's no further reporting out, I think we need to skip item number 12 because that's redundant. We just did that on item number 9. And if there's no further business for the commission, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I
move that we adjourn.
I'll second.
We are adjourned. Again, welcome aboard.
Thanks.
It wasn't that bad, was it? No.
I think I'll come back next week.
Yeah.